In this video, I will reveal to you how you can stop your suffering. If you ever experienced joy or happiness, even just once in your lifetime, then you're able to create it again, and this method will work for you. I want to share this method with you because it completely changed my life. Said so, if you are enjoying your suffering, want to keep feeling like a victim, please close this video now because you will not be able to understand my message. And you might even get upset. All suffering is mind generated. While pain happens in the body, suffering happens in the mind. It doesn't matter what's causing the pain. Sometimes it's real, sometimes it's just paranoia. But one thing is for sure, we are resisting to that pain and we are making things worse than they are in our mind. Don't try to fix problems that don't exist. That's what we're doing when we're suffering. See, anything that we experience it from within. If I ask you, where do you see me now? You're gonna point your finger at your screen, laptop, or wherever you're watching me from. But actually, that's not where you see me. You know, light reflects on your screen, go through your lenses, invert the image in the retina, and you see me inside yourself. That's the same for anything we experience as human beings. It's the same for sounds, smell, or also pain, pleasure, whatever emotion. We experience everything from within. Sometimes the stimulus comes from outside, it's external, but we cannot deny that all the experiences, we live them from within. So this means that we are the ones in charge. It's just that our mental activity, our mind is so powerful that we don't know how to manage it, and all this energy, we're gonna use it to create suffering unconsciously. To avoid the suffering, most of us try to run away from the intellect, from our own mind, by lowering our faculties. You see, with drugs, sex, alcohol, anything really, it doesn't matter. We are just trying to distract ourselves from our mental trap. That is gonna work for a few days or few hours, depending on your ability to do so. But the problem is that it's gonna come back because we are trying to fix something internal with something external. So we're not really fixing the problem. And how do we fix this? What's the way to fix this? The only way to fix this suffering is to move beyond the intellect, move beyond the mind. And what's behind the mind? Some people, religious people call it God, spiritual people call it universe, Buddhists call it emptiness, yogis call it consciousness. It's all the same. Beyond the intellect, we are just pure consciousness. Pure consciousness is the witness that we all have within us. Formless, silent presence that we all have inside of ourselves. Now, I'm not saying that it's completely our fault if to avoid the suffering we distract ourselves with pleasurable things rather than tuning into consciousness. Yet, it's very important to understand that we are still the one in charge and we are still the ones creating the suffering. Most of the time we do that completely unconsciously without even realizing. But what it means unconsciously? Our subconscious mind has been programmed since the time we were born. Even before that, actually, even when you were in your mom's belly. We had no choice, we had no saying in our programming, yet everything we experienced left a mark on our program and made us who we are now. Think about the family we grew up in, our circle of friends, the teacher that we had in school, any traumatic and not traumatic event that happened to us, any joyful moment, any time we felt in love, any time we went through an heartbreak. Anything that happened to us contributed in programming our subconscious mind. And why does this matter? Why this is so important? Every time we are unconscious, we behave however our subconscious mind was programmed. So when something bad happened to us and we experience a sadness or something painful and we are not conscious, the subconscious mind is just gonna run the show. For most of us, the programming is not even that bad. It does a great job at keeping us safe and alive. But the problem is that it's not the best either. It doesn't really make us thrive. It's not that our own intellect wants to sabotage us. It's just a survival instinct. It wants to keep us safe. It doesn't want us to go through pain, so it keeps us in the same loop. This loop gets stronger and stronger, making us more and more identified with our own mind. The loop, the cycle itself, is not that bad, depending on different situations, but it will 100% keep repeating itself, generating the same things, making the same things happen over and over, so that your life will never change. When we complain all the time, when we feel like victims, everything bad seems happening to us. Unfortunately, in those times, we are completely stuck and lost in our own mind, creating and generating the same pattern, the same suffering over and over again. It's important to understand that our thoughts create our feelings, and our feelings influence our actions, and our actions, through repetition, are gonna create our habits. Now, what happens when you become conscious? What happens when you take charge of your mind? When you do that, you're not in autopilot anymore, and your subconscious mind is not running the show. When we become conscious, we start finally realizing that we are creating the extra suffering. We are resisting to things as they are. What if I did this instead? Why did this happen to me? What if this, what if that, if only this, if only that? We are creating that narrative in the mind because we are not accepting things as they are. We are not accepting whatever happened to us, or we are trying to anticipate the future before it even happened. This is what's creating the suffering. Okay, I know, it's easier said than done. You will probably be wondering, but how do I stop the suffering? How do I become conscious? Becoming conscious in itself, it's not something difficult, it's not a difficult process, but it requires a certain level of awareness. The more we are identified with our mind, the more we are stuck in that loop, the more awareness we will need in order to come out. Now I'm going to tell you, how do I become aware? Like, this is my method on becoming aware. Anytime I catch my mind going on its own, then I act on it. Because if you think about it, your mind is going to go on its own most of the time. So the time that you realize that it's going on autopilot, and you're like, oh my God, like these thoughts are keep flowing and I'm not even like thinking them, like they're just going on their own. Then it's when I act on it. As soon as you catch it, act on it. Okay, now I'm aware. Now that I'm aware, how do I become conscious? To become conscious, you really want to bring all your awareness, all your focus, all your attention to the present moment. What's happening right now? What's happening? Observe what's happening right now. Within me and outside me, internal and external. What's happening right now in this exact moment? To stop all the suffering, now all you have to do is to accept it. I know it's not easy. We all struggle with this. It's not easy, but this is the technique. This is how you do it. You just have to accept the present moment as it is. So you become aware. You bring all your attention, all your focus into the present moment, and then you accept it. Accept it as it is. Can you accept it as it is? Can you stop resisting it? The more you resist the present moment, the more you're gonna create suffering. Also, you will probably notice, when you bring all your awareness into the present moment, that 90% of the times, nothing bad is actually happening, and we're just suffering our own memory or imagination. We are remembering things that made us suffer and we suffer again, or we are anticipating things that are gonna make us suffer and we suffer. Of course, I know it's not like that all the time. Sometimes life hits us really hard. Sometimes things, very bad things and sad and fucked and ugly stuff happen to us. So what do we do in those cases? The answer is the same. Can we accept it? Past, present or future, it doesn't matter. Can you accept things for what they are? Maybe today you got fired and your mind unconsciously starts creating suffering. You could start thinking, oh, I'm screwed. What am I gonna do now? How am I gonna pay my bills? Why didn't I wake up earlier? If I only weren't late for work, maybe I will still have a job now. Or maybe you could think, why did I reply back to my boss? If I minded my own business, he wouldn't have fired me. What if, what then? It's okay to meditate on our mistakes and learn to don't do them again. But in order to properly learn the lesson, we need to accept the situation first. Accept what happened to us, accept the way we reacted, accept the suffering that our mind created. Accept it all. The earlier we accept it, the earlier we can start finding a solution or learn a lesson. If something is happening to you right now, accept it for what it is, and also feel whatever emotion is bringing up. This is one of the beauty about being humans, to be able to feel the joy, the pain, the sadness, whatever it is, whatever emotion it is. Feel it and don't resist it. This is all you need to do. Become aware and accept the present moment. We aren't able to be aware and conscious all the time, but the more we practice this through repetition, the more these new behaviors are going to become your new habits. So that even when you're not conscious, your subconscious mind is changed and you're gonna act also differently. Lastly, before we wrap this video, I want to remind you that we learn lessons from the obstacles of our life, from the challenges, from the difficult times. We don't learn nothing when things go smoothly and according to plan. So as long as we keep learning lessons, we keep growing, then these challenges serve their purpose. If you think this video helped you in any way, please consider subscribing. Or if you have a friend who could benefit from this video, please send it to them. The more people we can impact, the better it's gonna be. I wish you a beautiful day.